welcome to the Keelhauled podcast. I'm your host, CaptainLogun, and we've got a lot of Sea of Thieves news to cover today, so tie yourselves to the mast and hold fast. Ahoy there, pirates. I hope you had yourselves a good week and a good weekend. I know I did. This week, we are going to be sitting down for our December community episode. I have with me none other than Godhammer and Regis Stella to talk about some of the things that we experienced in December. Was it a good month? Was it a bad month? What were some of the things that we liked or disliked about it, as well as some perspective stuff that we hope is coming with season 15, as well as just 2025 in general. There's also some critiques about the insider changes that recently happened as far as how you earn your rewards, that I think is something a lot of people should hear and then share with Rare if that resonates with you. So all that and more in this week's episode of Keelhauled Podcast. But before we get into any of that, I have to thank the patrons. They're the ones that are making this content, especially this episode, because if not for them, I'd be sitting here talking alone as always. And my opinion is good, but it's not always the only opinion out there. And I think it's good to get other people's opinions on the show and make sure that their voices are heard. And that's why I have the patron set up to have these community episodes, which is open to all of the captains out there. So if you guys have time, can plan it, make sure that you check the Discord. And if it's something that you want to jump in to speak about, you're always more than welcome to do so. But otherwise, you're going to get your name shout out. So thank you to A Chick, Toasts, L Cute, Balls, Blue Turtle V1, Captain Chonky, Captain Longsharts, Chateau Noof, Super Pack, Zombie Killer, Cloud, Cosmic Johnson, Static Amir, Davram TV, El Jefe Esteban, Godhammer 6, Carl Embo, Kylea the Aficionado, Mr. Blizzard, Evil Morpheus, Space Admiral Oars, Xbox Mike 29, Mutinous Max, Norwegian, Regis Stella the Brony Pirate, Ribloid, Rustbelt Kid, Scamelt 666, Tommy D, TN Professor, Vibralux, Wailing Witch, Big Bad Pat, Mina Fairy, The Lore Chronologist Deadeye Dre, Hager Owl, Jeff H, Captain Duckweed, Evil Martha, Peter Miller, Rooski Doo, Thor Von Blitz, Luke Lore the Insipid Ghost, and Zam. Wow. Thank you all so much for your love and your support. It really does help keep this podcast going and me eating food. Yeah, that's good. I have to eat food. Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of the Community Keelhauled podcast. This is technically the December episode. We're going to be having the January one later on this month, but we are delayed because I was on vacation. I took a couple weeks off just to kind of reset, give myself an opportunity to relax, and really just kind of mentally disconnect from most social media. I really didn't look at Discord a whole lot. And it was relaxing. I got to have a really good Christmas and New Year's, and I'm coming back excited and refreshed to jump into Sea of Thieves and see how things are going, and get some opinions from folks who've been playing this last couple of weeks since we've been gone. So as always, we have Gold Hoarders with us. We're running a brig crew this week. I've got none other than Regis Stella. Regis is joining as always. How you doing, Regis?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just, another chaotic Australian summer Christmas, in case you're wondering what kind of Christmas we celebrate down here.
Let me hang on a sec.
Okay, fair enough. Already. New year, new problems. Jesus Christ.
I figured out what it was. It was, I had the volume channel on my mixer down halfway, because it's usually down a little bit lower, so that's why you're coming in so low. So I'll probably go in and actually get that edit in just a little bit more for the listeners who are listening in. But sorry,
yep.
It's
you're good. When
you haven't podcasted for a couple weeks, it's always like, oh yeah, this is how we do things. I forgot. So
yeah.
Also this week we have Godhammer. Godhammer, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
Good. Happy to be back. Ready to jump in.
Yes, very good.
Talking
testing.
Some Sea of Thieves.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2 testing.
Oh, you were golden. Coming in nice, clean, crisp, and clear. Gentlemen, We have had a very interesting December for Sea of Thieves. I think this is probably one of the better months that they've put out for Sea of Thieves. I think that they've had a really good lineup of events and activities and stuff to keep us engaged with the content. And I wanted to kind of toss this out to you before we really kind of break down like what came in December and how you felt about it. Overall thoughts. Was this a pretty good month for Sea of Thieves?
Great month for the Sea of Thieves. I'm the news guy for the Grog, so I've got a recap of everything that we had during December. So we had Legends Week, we had the holiday hauls. If you were lucky enough to be sailing and run into the people with the generous gift sales, we had that. They had supporters streamer. I got my Obsidian Capstan. It feels like Ashes now that we got it that way. I kind of wanted to win it through Legendary Liz, but yeah, here we are. There was the December monthly update, the Festival of Giving, the holiday sale. I got my ancient coin sales. I'm a big old whale, and I got my sales. And the Golden Glory is currently running, except not when this podcast comes out. You missed it. Too bad.
Yeah, should have been here. Awesome. Well, I appreciate the breakdown. I agree with you that it was a really good month. I am curious how Regis felt. Regis, how much time did you get in? What did you think? Any standout moments that you feel kind of contributed to the positive or negative of the month overall for Sea of Thieves?
Well, the only one I truly participated in, like, because the one that always been there for like since minute one of like the support the streamer thing, like. I was there, and then suddenly all these subscriptions came flying in. Like I was like, "Oh damn, they're really desperate for a Obsidian Capstan," and they were like, I had to go into multiple Twitch Sea of Thieves partners just to see like, oh, this one's got lots, this one's got lots. There was even some hype trains going along those streams as well, like just absolute craziness. Like I didn't know the Sea of Thieves was that desperate for a glorified black obsidian, a black capstan. But that's Sea of Thieves for you. They're just a whole bunch of craziness.
Yeah, I know a lot of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like any other update, any other things like that's pretty interesting. I wish you had the mimic dot though, because that would have been like really fun. I wonder how that's explained in the lore, but. We'll leave it to Mike Chapman for that one.
Well, we saw the Sword of Souls, the corrupted Sword of Souls being used as a conduit, I guess, maybe for LeChuck to be able to take on the Pirate Legend or the Pirate Lords thing. I don't know. I'm sure it's
Again, we'll leave it for Mike Chapman to figure that one out.
Yeah. Magic. We'll just it's all magic. Awesome. Well, yeah, I was very happy to see the supporter streamer come out. It was nice that it didn't matter which kind of streamer you had to go to be able to get the Obsidian Capstan. I think it was nice that you could go to your buddy who just barely made affiliate and give them 2 subs and get your Twitch promotion or your what was it? I can't remember what the name of the set is for 2 to get the Celestial Steed. That's what it was. The Celestial Steed. Godhammer, you were right there with that, weren't you?
Yes.
So yeah, and then the 3 for the Obsidian Capstan. It was really nice to be able to. I hope they do that with more stuff, honestly. I hope that they have like some of the harder to get cosmetics that are tied to purchases, because if you guys, the Obsidian set itself is tied to giveaways and purchases. Like that's the only way that you've ever been able to obtain the Obsidian stuff is through like either giveaways through Twitch subs or watching for time frames, things like that. They can't, for whatever reason, I think they have that set up so that you have to be, there has to be some sort of giveaway or monetary compensation just for that type of set. So maybe one day they'll release the blunderbuss in a similar fashion. I doubt it, but I also never thought that they would bring the Obsidian flintlock pistol back from like the first couple times they did Twitch drops for it. So that's come back. So who knows? The ferryman set I think is just going to be forever locked to the controller though.
I mean, if it's like the capstan, then maybe we'll see it sometimes. Maybe we'll see the ferryman set come back soon, but you never know.
Yeah, I wonder.
It's fine. Just leave it locked. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's one set. Don't worry about it.
Do you happen to have that ferryman set?
No.
Oh, okay.
Me neither.
All right.
It was long before my time. Just let it go. It's
All
fine.
right.
Some things can stay exclusive. That's fine.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever seen it is when Jack Sparrow got the sword from the ferryman, to be honest, in the Pirates Life Told Tales. Which I'm like,
cool.
Oh, yeah. You lucky beep.
Yeah. Yeah, that is still to this day. I'm glad that I went out to the random Microsoft store that I saw they had one still there. And I was like, I play on PC. I'm never going to use this thing, but I kind of want it just because it looks really cool. But, you know, I'm never going to have an Xbox. Fast forward 4 years later, or, 6 years later. It's like my idol, my prized possession in my collection.
Fast forward 6 years later, you're co-host of an Xbox podcast.
It's true. I know. Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Weird how time changes. But yeah, grateful that I kind of wish, because I had the opportunity, I kind of wish I had just forked over the cash and bought the 2 terabyte or the 1 terabyte hard drive as well too. But oh well, choices made. Looking at the list here, I would say that Sea of Thieves has done a very good job of giving us stuff to do and things to be invested in for December. I hope that this cadence continues. It feels like a continuation of November. While November did have a lot of hiccups as far as the actual updates go, I think that the live service team, whoever's kind of planning out some of these weekends and different things to kind of like have going on throughout the month is doing a good job. I think the Voyages of Luck have been very successful. I think a lot of people really like that they're small, they're short. You get one for a special occasion, and then you have that chance of getting a really good haul if you just happen to pull the right RNG lever. Hammer, what do you want to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say I believe Christina is the head of that. She's got a new last name and I can't remember it.
Yeah. McGrath is gone.
Yes, I can't remember what it is, but she was the running that section of the game.
Yep.
And yeah, she did a very good job. I was fairly highly engaged in the Festival of Giving. I've hit Distinction 5 in Gold Hoarders, Order of Souls, Merchant Alliance, all because of the Festival of Giving.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the Festival of Giving? You want to dive into that?
Yeah, sure.
I was very happy with this. The Festival of Giving, it started on the 18th. It went to the 30th. And each day throughout that time period, it would cycle between different trade companies for a gilded voyage, as well as a voyage of luck. So you for sure got at least one voyage of luck to do every day, which was cool because it was very short. And then you would get Gold Hoarder, Order of Souls, Merchant Alliance, and Athena's Fortune. And each would have like 3 days to kind of cycle through each one. And I gotta say, they absolutely killed it with that. I had a really good time jumping in, throwing down the voyage. The fact that they were always in the shores of plenty, I think, made for some very fun interactions. There was definitely some good fights and even an alliance in the time that I was doing them. So I was very happy with how they kind of did that. I think it's a lot better than the gift giving, like either putting loot on someone else's table or ship, or trying to get someone to turn in gifts for you. The way the game is designed now, there's so much to do. It's too hard to focus everyone on one thing for too long. And having the gilded voyages, I think, just gave everyone an opportunity to work on, the trade companies that they want to, and B, put out a ton of treasure in one sea for people who wanted to go out hunting people for their guildeds. But I'll open it up to you two. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time? What was like your average for the voyage? Did you get to turn in everything that you wanted? Did you run a whole bunch? Give me some feeling and some feedback on that.
Unfortunately, I didn't participate because my family was setting up for Christmas Day and the days following that, so I can't comment on that.
Ah, bummer. I'm sorry.
I can fill that void. I was very active. I think I don't think I missed more than like 2 days. We managed to get, it was myself and more or less my galleon crew. Now it's galleon crew now. Little Chaos Gremlins are now up to, we've got my original shipmate back from the very first days of me playing back in 2020.
Oh, cool.
He has joined us, Tengu. Welcome back, fella. He's on with Witch and Sam, and we more or less cleaned up. I hit Gold Hoarder Distinction 5, I think, on the first Festival of Giving Day for the Gold Hoarders. And, excuse me, I hit Distinction 5 for Order of Souls on the third one of those days, and
Nice.
Merchant Alliance I got the day after it finished. I was at 99.5 after the last Gilded Voyage was turned in on for that one. It was interesting for the most part. We turned them all in. I think there was the last merchant day was a bit of a heartbreaker. We lost 2 gildeds in one go because sometimes there are just bigger fish out there, and the sharks were out in force over that period, and they got us a couple times, but we turned in pretty good. And we managed during I think on the second day of the Festival of Giving, Witch pulled a golden map, and
nice.
we're like, we were actually on 2 boats during that day. We were like, everybody's going to be joining in on us, and we pulled the golden map and we started spamming Discord as like, get on, and nobody showed up. So it was just her and I.
Oh.
And so we sunk my boat. I switched over to her boat, and we did it because we're like, we got a golden map and we're not sitting here waiting for you people to log on.
Mm-hmm.
They never showed. So we turned that in ourselves. And then Sam on the last Order of Souls Day pulled a golden map as well.
Oh, that's so lucky.
So we got that done. I have yet to pull one for myself, but that's fine. I got to see it done, so that was cool. But otherwise, yeah, I've got my Athena's now up to Distinction 3. I'm sitting at 84 in Distinction 3, and everything else is Distinction 5.
Wow.
Which is really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Made good use of that.
Yeah, I would say so. I still have not gotten a gilded, or not a gilded. Is it gilded? No, it's not gilded. The
golden map.
Yeah, golded. I keep wanting the naming conventions. I've yet to get one, and I've been very curious to see like what that's going to look like the first time I get it, because I've been waiting, and every time I go for it, nothing. So I'm like, all right, one of these times I have to get it. Like it will pop up. But I'm very excited to see that when it happens and see what's going to happen with the haul, if I'm going to be able to catch it all. But I'm liking the Voyage of Luck. I think that is a good way to kind of add some incentive to jumping on and playing when they do give those out every month. I think that'll be really fun to kind of see like how people feel about them give over time, and like if people are going to be able to, if it's something that's going to stick around kind of thing, you know? Yeah.
Without a emissary flag up, it the total haul just from the map alone is around 200k in gold.
That's pretty good.
If you're running Reaper 5, because you can take everything in to Reapers that way, including the Box of Wondrous Secrets, then it'll probably pull you in a lot more. A little bit less if you're running guild flag.
Yeah.
But a good amount from just one map.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely really worth it. I know for me at least, the Gilded Voyages were a lot of fun. It was nice to have those kind of set up and know what we were going to be running each day, and tossing out like a voyage of luck just to kind of see how the server was, get a gauge on like, you know, if it was worth sticking on that server or should we dive to a different one. Seeing like who was working on stuff. We had some really weird interactions where people genuinely like came up on us after, or like coming after us, and then just like they got sunk, but they were working on something as well too, and it was like what why there's the bit of risk there was insane. I can't remember if I talked about it because I can't remember if it happened after I went on vacation or if it was before my vacation, but had a really good rowboat play on with a chick on a sloop. I'm pretty sure it was during the vacation because we had seen a sloop that was kind of nearby, and we were working on one of our gildeds, and we were heading up to Sailor's Bounty to go work on there, and there had been like a burning blade that somebody had taken and was like slowly sailing towards us from the wilds. And I was like, all right, well, this will be fun if this is what they're actually doing, because we weren't sure what they were doing. It seemed very erratic. But I decided, like, with the burning blade coming in on us, I was like, well, let's throw everything into a sloop and we'll do a rowboat play. And she went over to Sailor's Bounty and started digging up the chests. And I started to row over around because I was going to go drop off over at Sanctuary. Well, I lost my way and noticed that while I was going south instead of east, I rode by another rowboat with two pirates in it. And I was like, what the heck? And then I noticed there was a sloop parked at Keelhauled that we had completely missed. And they were trying to rowboat over to our ship while we were at Sailor's Bounty. So I let A-Check know, and then she started to lead the Burning Blade and the sloop crew on a goose chase while I rode over to Sanctuary and turned in all my loot. And we managed to score everything from our gilded that way. And I was just like, I love those moments in Sea of Thieves. So that plus a bunch of other stuff for the gildeds was a lot of fun for the Festival of Giving. I had a really good time jumping in, made close to 1 million every time I jumped on. And I managed to get my 15 ships finally for my fleet knocked out. So I was happy to get that achievement knocked out.
Well played. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Glad that everyone else has been having a good time with it as well too. Would love to see like how they go about doing something like the Festival of Giving in the future. But Godhammer, you and Regis have been around for a bit, and there was something that was noticeably missing in December that I thought needed to be addressed, and I wanted to bring this up with you guys to get your feels on it, because personally, I'm a little upset. I'm kind of past it at this point, but we didn't get a Grogmanet this year, and my tankard does not have a new notch in it, and I'm kind of like, really? This seems like an easy win. I know everyone's all hands on deck for having like getting the game in a good state. And I know that they've done a great job of giving us stuff to do in December, but no Grogmanet? Really? So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that.
I think it's because Grogmanet and actual whatever the thing is called in Scotland for real life has been cancelled because of poor weather, or they have no idea what. Oh, they probably just got stuck cramming all this stuff into all this like previously mentioned stuff into the game that they forgot the one event that everyone was like, okay, now add the notch to the thing and then you're good. But you know. We don't know unless they explain it themselves. So, looking forward to the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm disappointed. Yeah, I can't lie. I wonder if They couldn't decide whether or not to notch a V into the thing or just another notch, and there was just a big fight.
It's just a giant. Should it be a slash or should it be a V? I feel like
across through the four notches.
it should
I wonder
be.
if they,
Yeah, given 4 should have been like one line and a V. I think they should have just gone with the slash for the actual notch.
There was probably a big
I was gonna say four. Yeah, I was gonna say 4 notches then a slash. Like that'll solve it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's disappointing because it feels like an easy win.
Mm-hmm.
Show up on New Year's, get your tankard, show them where you've been by getting a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why it's not there.
Yeah.
And I'm bummed about it, but
Yeah.
if that's the worst thing happening to me this year, you know what? I guess things are going all right.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. It seems like an easy win, but at the same time, I think it was this time last year when they were talking about coming out with a season coin for anyone that hit level 100. They made one and then lost the access or the merchandise rights, or something happened with their store. And anyone that had ordered one of those coins, they were going to be guaranteed that, but it took forever for us to get those coins. And they stopped it like right after the first one was announced. So I've got my one coin for completing one of the 14 seasons they've had. It's so strange how easy Rare is willing to let go of like certain things and just not continue those on. Like we didn't have anything for Halloween that was like Festival of the Damned either. And it's been really strange to kind of see them move away from some things and move to other things. In my opinion, it didn't feel like we really, there wasn't anything so big in the game that came in that would have kind of been detracted from or derailed by having a Festival of the Damned event or a Grogmanet event. Stuff like that seems so expected for most live service games to celebrate the holidays and have something themed around it. It seems odd that we haven't had those. And it makes me wonder if that is even going to be something in the future. If they aren't going to keep up with Grogmanet for more than 4 years, who's to say what else they'll kill next? Could be seasons. Any thoughts on that though? Any feelings on missed events or anything that you're looking forward to them keeping or maybe addressing in a future podcast episode?
That's one I have to ponder on.
That's fair.
Because I'm more or less satisfied as it is right now.
Yeah.
Do I want the tankard? Yes. Would it be an easy up to like get it? Yes. I was hourglassing on New Year's Eve, so I was there. Just add it into my box. I'd be happy. But as for like other missed ones, I'm not terribly upset. You know what? I'll be worried if we miss the anniversary.
Okay.
If we miss the anniversary, then that's this cause for concern. But if we don't, it's fine. We'll get something.
You say that, but I'm starting to wonder now, like what's on the table? What's left that they could because I'm looking at they've killed Adventures. They've killed Tall Tales outside of like the last one that they wanted to do, which was Monkey Island. We're getting a little bit of kind of story and lore that we really haven't I don't think we've really talked about it. Have we? Yeah, we've talked a little bit about Merrick in the past, haven't we?
You have talked about it slightly. It wasn't out last time we got together for a Gold Hoarder.
Well,
yeah.
Might be a good opportunity to kind of fill people in. You've been posting about this. I've been keeping an eye on it, if you would.
Oh.
Horrible pun. Yeah, if you guys haven't been keeping up, the old boy who's given his life had an outpost named after him is now being a bit grumpy in my opinion, about going out and trying to find out what's going on with all the rumblings and mysterious sounds coming from deep in the ocean. So Merrick is back on Sharkbait Cove, and it's kind of where it all started. And this is assumed to be a preface and a lead up into the Hunter's Call update, which we know is going to be coming with season 15 at some point. We've already seen changes on the outposts, kind of indicative of the Hunter's Call possibly being represented at the actual outposts. But Godhammer, you were posting a little bit about the changes that you've seen over on Sharkbait. Do you want to kind of fill us in on what's been going on there?
Yeah, I went over to Sharkbait when I was sailing with what? Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this. Woodzersny. I was with sailing with him. A nice guy, by the way.
Nice.
If you're in the Discord, good guy to sail with. We ended up going to Sharkbait after we had finished off, I believe, a gilded voyage, and I took a look at the journals, and yep, there are jewels in them shark eyes, and I can't remember the text of what he said, but he seems to be talking a lot about them megalodons stirring again, and the Sea Post Hunter's Call people are talking a lot about how their ships are being attacked. People have been taking them down. Sounds like there's a monster on the loose, and we're gonna have to go hunt it.
Yeah. I've been keeping an eye and reading through a lot of the dialogue. It sounds like this is going to be bigger than Old Mother as far as like an actual ancient, and it makes me wonder, are we just going to get another megalodon that's just bigger, like the ancient one? Like, does it feel weird that we have a megalodon that is called the ancient one, or like an ancient, the yellow one,
ancient terror?
Yeah, we have that, and then now we're potentially looking at like an even more ancient one. Like, how is it our fault? Are we the problem naming it the ancient terror?
An ancienter terror.
An ancienter. I like that.
Yep.
Regis, you spend any time on Sharkbait chatting with Merrick at all?
I would talk about it, but NDA.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of sitting in the insiders. Okay, so you probably know more than what we're checking out at the moment then. Okay.
No comment.
Fair. I'm looking forward to this. I have long said, we need to have something that's more of like an animal threat on islands. I think going all the way back to the art book, we've had stuff like skeleton boars, just other creatures. We forever ago, we saw that one thing that was like a confirmation that there is a dodo model available in the game, that they've just never brought the dodo to Sea of Thieves, and it was not on April Fool's Day. So who knows what the heck is going on there. But overall, I'm interested to see how Sea of Thieves is going to approach this as far as a Hunter's Call update, because we've had voyages to take you to specific fishing spots near islands, which I actually really liked. We've had I'm going to forget what it's called. The Shrouded One Adventure, I believe is what it was called. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where we could summon particular types of megalodons and then eventually summon the actual shrouded ghost or a shrouded ghost to defeat in the actual adventure, which was cool. It was a good tribute to the Hungering One event for the first one that kind of harkens back to what Merrick's doing right now. I'm very curious to find out if we're going to be getting something like that, or do you think it is going to be a little bit more robust? Like, are we going to get actual voyages, emissary? Are we going to, I'm assuming they're bringing in emissary, because like, I think they've already even confirmed that on the podcast. So would not be surprised there. Now that I'm talking about it, that would probably explain what's going on with the outposts.
I'm gonna have to say that when they changed the way that insider rewards are doled out, Because I'm me, I had to go onto the Insider Forum to see the post about how they did that, and I was unable to stop myself, and I did see the posts about. So I can't say in good conscience that I couldn't make idle speculation and so on, as though I'm doing it in good faith. So I have an idea. I can't say. So you're on your own, buddy.
Oh, dang it. Well, I would. What I will say is, I'm looking forward to what they decide to do with the Hunter's Call. I need it to be robust, though. I need them to actually like come out and build a full voyage system, something that is, because at the moment, we have at least 3 major types of voyages for each of the different trade companies. Actually, yeah, technically we do. I think Athena's Fortune's a little, but we have different types of voyages for each of the different trade companies right now that have voyages to begin with, outside of like Reapers, obviously. So I need Hunter's Call to have something akin to that. I'm guessing it's going to be something tied to hunting down megalodons, similar to the way that we did the Shrouded one. I'm assuming it's probably going to be some sort of new type of creature, which it'll probably bring in like a new type of food, like a new type of meat, because it seems like that's probably going to be like the go-to for it. But outside of that, I'm not too sure like what they're going to do. I can say that there's a good chance they might bring in more fish, although I really don't want them to. I'd like for them to give a little bit more guidance on how some of those fish work, because honestly, Godhammer, if it wasn't for you, those Black Cloud Wreckers would have been really hard to figure out how to get, because that was not clear.
Worst fish. We did while we were sailing on our last gilded on the last day, we did think of a worse fish that you could possibly fish, which is a wrecker that only appears in the storm while an eclipse is happening.
Oh, that's just wrong.
That's cursed right there.
That is. I will say that I am eternally grateful for the community who have all kind of come together to build up the storm tracker that's been available for a bit, because had it not been for that and finding out that the game is actually programmed to spawn shipwrecks in the path of storms, didn't know that for a long time. Actually, I figured like shipwrecks have like set locations that they'll spawn. Had no idea that it was tied to where there was always going to be at least one shipwreck in the path of the storm, at least like a good few squares out before it finally gets there. That was kind of cool to find out. But yeah, I expect that we'll probably get more fish, and I'm kind of curious how you all feel about the idea of doing more fishing.
Doesn't bother me. No.
Mm-hmm.
If we're getting an upgrade to the Hunter's Call, it means we're gonna go past. We're gonna prestige past. We're gonna get distinctions for it. So
yeah,
just more to do distinction wise. So
is it
no big deal?
Is it 50 right now, or is it 75?
50. It's 50.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think they'd ever bumped it up to 75, which is, yeah. The fact that
something for me to work on, and I'm happy. So
that's true. Yeah. Now that I'm done with Gold Hoarder, I'm looking to Order of Souls and Merchant Alliance for okay, I'm not done with Gold Hoarder. I'm not like you. I don't have my distinctions knocked out, but as far as like commendations go, I'm at least solid on those. But I'm looking forward to them updating Gold or Hunter's Call and seeing like what that's going to look like. I just want them to do right by it, like make it really cool, make it like a big deal that, we have the Veil Voyage with like, emplacements and a fortress and a giant tornado. Give me something that level for Hunter's Call when fighting whatever monster they want to like toss at us, kind of thing,
Yeah, I do want to take a hot second to blast the changes to the insider rewards.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Doing it by reputation was not the way to do it. It should be tied. The doling out of insider rewards should be closer tied to seasonal renown, which resets constantly in insiders. That's the way it should have been doled out, because now I'm focused on just getting reputation through a standard grind. All I'm doing now is merchant voyages, which is the way I do it is just go to the Devil's Roar and do cargo runs until I get my insider reward and I'm done. I'm not even bothering with any of the things that they actually want you to test there, because some of the things that they want you to test have no bearing on the progress that you make towards your insider rewards. So tying it to reputation, I can either test the thing or I can go work on something that's going to give me the reputation to get my insider reward done. So it's sort of worse than having it timed to an hour, because in the past, when I was doing it in the hour, say, for example, when the grappling gun was being tested, I could just take the grappling gun, head over to Sea Dog's Tavern, and test the grappling gun with other boats while I was there. And in an hour, I got my thing, because I'm earning, I'm earning I'm earning the rewards passively. But now I actively have to do something else that takes me away from the testing of the thing. And because like, say, the grappling gun has nothing tied to it that gives you reputation. So there's no incentive for me to test the thing, but there is an incentive for me to test or to run just standard stuff that has no engagement with the new content that they're looking for feedback on. So that was a mistake. And I think they should change it to seasonal renown, get the seasonal renown, whatever's tied to the new content, get that in there. Because at least if that doesn't happen, you can also do things that seasonal renown is earned more or less passively for just the actions you do. And that you can earn somewhat more passively. And then if you're like, you've been in there for like an hour and a half and you're like, all right, let's get this over with, you can just go run something else that gives you seasonal renown quickly and effectively, finish off your thing, get your insider reward, and then dip off.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the change to the insider rewards, how they're doled out, is the right move.
Yeah.
Rant over.
I agree with you. Regis, have you looked at this, or have you messed around with this at all?
No.
Alrighty, fair enough. Yeah, I'm with you on this. Given the nature of how Sea of Thieves is played, I think a lot of people like to prefer, especially if there was something that was engagement with PvP. No voyage, just they need to have something tested for that. If people are logging on to be incentivized to get the rewards, but there's nothing reputation required for it, then realistically your best bet is to maybe run Reaper and just pick up stuff on the go as you're kind of sailing around and doing stuff, just to try and help get some of that reputation gain for it. But yeah, it's there's nothing that's pushing people to engage with whatever it is that they're testing, which could be completely separate from whatever it is that they are requiring for that. So I'm 100% with you on that one. I'm hoping going forward that they do address that, because I think that is a much more reliable means of engagement, as opposed to forcing people down the path of getting reputation. Outside of that, is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about as far as some of the teases and stuff with Sharkbait Cove, with Merrick, with the Hungering Deep, or not the Hungering Deep, the Hunter's Call, things that you'd like to see brought in with the trade company, animals that you'd want to have that you could go hunting for? Do you think that they will actually go like proper hunting? Like, are we going to go out there like, or I guess a good comparison is, I always think of, sorry,
you just cut out there for a second.
Oh, I did. Oh, apologies. Trying to think of like the father from the Tarzan movie, the Disney Tarzan movie. Do you think we're going to get like the little kind of British expedition outfit with the tan pants and the tan shirt and the little helmet? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
That would be amazing, but again, no comment. Otherwise, they'll revoke my NDA.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that's fair. It can't say yay or nay on that, so that's good.
Unfortunately, I know too much.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I am trying to make sure that after having seen this change to the insider rewards, that's the last I do of it for like a long time. I only did insiders this past year because they showed off last year what was coming. So I'm like, oh, now I know generally what's coming. I can just jump into insiders and I won't be terribly spoiled for what's coming. And more or less, yeah. But there were little things along the way. I'm just like, I would have liked to have known that on the day they dropped it. Would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So I've now stopped looking at the insiders forums. I've closed off that tab because the second they post a news item as soon as they post the new topics on Tuesday and Friday, I was in there like a hawk, just looking at what they had coming up like a little goblin. Oh, I need the news every time it comes up. But it was hurting my enjoyment of the stuff coming out during that time, so I've stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But looking forward to season 17, where I'll have no idea what's coming, and we can talk about it normally. 17? 16? What are we on?
16.
Is it?
We're
on 14?
We're on 14.
We're coming up to 15.
Coming up to 15, and then 16 is
what
completely.
What is time?
I don't know.
Yeah, to quote the Rare Dev, to say basically what Mike Chapman said, season 15 is the Hunter's Call. Season 16, I imagine so, is gonna be Reapers based.
It could be. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they said so on the podcast.
Oh, did they? I didn't never catch that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I don't remember them mentioning that. So
let me pull it up.
No worries. Yeah, it's good to.
Okay.
What would a Reapers based season look like?
I think
we'll figure it out.
Ooh, now we can go into a proper honest idle speculation.
I can't imagine
like something to do with the burning blade.
Yeah. Okay, so if I'm being 100% honest, I think a Reaper's emissary would be interesting to see changed from what it currently is, because I think right now the way that it's set up, everything you run as Reapers gets credit. I think the only thing they could really do is okay, Hammer, I'm going to toss an idea out to you. You tell me yay or nay.
I'm wondering if you and I aren't thinking about the same thing, so let's hear it.
Okay. They had the adventure where we had to go out and capture the sea forts for Pendragon or for Flameheart, right? I'm starting to wonder if that kind of a mechanic makes a return in some sort of fashion. I don't know like how you want to do it, but right now Reaper benefits from everything being turned in. One of the biggest pain points of Reaper is that there is only one place you can turn in everything, and that is Reaper's hideout. I'm wondering if there is a way for you to quote unquote capture a sea, big ol' like air quotes on that, by taking over the sea forts. And what that would do was it would give you access to be able to turn in Reaper loot to the little skeletons at outposts. Is that too far?
Okay, we weren't thinking of the same thing. That's interesting.
It would require Reapers to run with all the loot that they have. They would still be flagged. They would have to be level 5, or they wouldn't have to be level 5, but that would be a way for them to get the most. But they would have to capture both the north and south, or the east and west sea forts within a sea to be able to gain access to be able to turn that in. And the only way that people would be able to stop that is if they took over one of the forts.
That's interesting. I don't know where I stand on something like that. I like the idea of bringing back the capturing sea posts or fort mechanic. I'm definitely with you there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if because that's a lot of failing to do to pull something like that off.
Yeah.
And it's not well. You would end up having a lot of running Reapers, which is, if not thematically appropriate, then realistically appropriate.
Right.
Oh,
It would be a lot. It would force Reapers to really have to commit to wanting to turn into that spot or that area. But what it would do it would open up more PvE Reapers to take over a sea.
Okay, so here's what I was thinking is we'll come back to this, but
okay.
We know that the game tracks loot that you steal from other people because every time your loot ends up on somebody else's boat, you get treasure donated.
Yeah.
I was thinking that loot that is acquired in that way counts double what it usually is on top of your standard multiplier.
So actually rewarding people for stealing.
Yes. And that's the idea. And then you could have some sort of like distinction between if say every time you use it says pick up Marauder chest and so on. If it's been stolen from someone, you could just change that text to red. So that's like hot merchandise.
Yeah.
And every time you pick up a chest that's got like a red text over the loot item name, you know that's stolen goods worth more.
Can I make a quick edit to that?
Shoot.
For readability purposes, can you do like a little Reaper icon next to it so that players could see the distinction? It is still the same piece of loot, but the color wouldn't necessarily. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If it were just like the little Reaper hourglass next to it, if you turn it into Reapers, it's worth more.
Yeah, or even more so, you could have like a little Reaper skull or something that you could put like a little plus symbol next to it. Just to give it like a little bit of an idea, some kind of iconography to indicate why this is different, as opposed to a color that might be lost with either people with color blindness or screen readers. That may not pick up on color changes.
Yes,
something like that.
Idea. That's a good idea. I like that.
Okay.
Going back to your seafort idea. What if they had the capturing? You capture different regions.
Mm-hmm.
There's two seaforts per region, and if you had more of them under your control, there would be a bigger bonus to that. That sort of thing.
I like the idea of this would be everyone on Alliance servers would love this idea, but I like the idea of zone control being an artificial, or not an artificial, but like an augment to loot turned in on those locations as well. So say and this is why I wish there was a way to be able to see on the map certain seas, actual zones. So you could take a look at the shores of plenty and see like, okay, well, the two seaforts over there have little Athena symbols above them, or Gold Hoarder symbols above them. So whoever is over there has not only taken control of the seaforts, pledged them to the trading company, and now that sea is getting a little bit more of a bonus for any of that loot turned in at those locations. And now you're sitting there looking, okay, well, you got Mr. Order of Souls over here kind of ticked off because there's a Gold Hoarder that's captured the seaforts and his loot is getting a little bit better, but you have quests that you need to do in the Order of Souls in this area. So would it be worth it for you to sail over and change the seafort allegiance to yours to be able to get that bonus and kick out the Gold Hoarder? And would that cause contention?
I'll tell you what, it'd be a boon for Tuckers.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. Would it? Because I feel like I don't see too many people tucking at outposts, and we have Murfruit now.
You capture a seafort and change its legion status, and then somebody's incentivized to come over, change it towards theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just hanging out, tucking on there, and hop on their boat, cause madness, chaos.
Okay. It does have cannons to defend.
It does have
cannons. You'd be able to sink a ship.
A lot of kegs.
Yeah. I think that the sea forts need a reason, an incentive to be used outside of just supply runs. Regis, we've been talking a lot. You've been really quiet. How are you feeling about these kind of like proposed ideas? Do you see any boon to them, or is there something that you'd tweak on them?
Well, I like both ideas, but I have one of my own. Like, we know that Flame Isles wants you to like conquer the Sea of Thieves by spreading fear and chaos throughout the seas. So maybe to like remind the outposts, especially the outposts that are not, especially outposts like Port Merrick that are gone complacent in their like oblivion of like the inevitable end. Maybe the Reapers can have a voyage dedicated to like raiding an outpost, like all the outposts, including Port Merrick, where we have NPCs defending the outpost, like kind of like the one segment in the Legend of the Veil voyage where you have allied people on your side, allied NPCs on your side, and enemy NPCs all fighting each other, and then you can join in to fight on the whatever you're doing the voyage at the time that is doing on a line to. So I figured have that implemented, but like have a raiding mechanic, like just you go into stores, like just try and like just do raiding, like kind of like the raiding mechanic in like Assassin's Creed of Valhalla.
Yeah.
Just more like Sea of Thieves-ified, if you will. Instead of Vikings, it's pirates. So instead of churches and chapels and villages, it's outposts in the Sea of Thieves.
So there's activity going on that's being kind of like taken care of by NPCs. They won't be able to finish it, but you'd be able to go in and contribute. Yeah.
Well, you are the one that actually like leads the assault on the outposts and actually benefit from them. The Reapers are just there for like support or whatever, support to like aid you in case you get overwhelmed by however many NPCs are on the outpost. Like I doubt all of them will contribute, but maybe make a specific type of NPC that'll be patrolling the outposts, like kind of like a outpost militia kind of thing. Just just to not only give life to the outpost, but also like give you like an enemy to fight on the outpost once you do the voyage.
I could see it. Yeah, I would definitely be interested to see like how that would be. Like, would there be some like what would the loot table be for something like that? Because at the moment we don't have any Reaper specific loot outside of. Would you consider the Burning Blade Reaper specific loot? Because like I personally do.
I don't think so. It's just the same. Apart from like the skull, the Ashen Lord skull you get from the ship exclusively. Like that's exclusive loot.
The Ashen skull. Maybe from the Ashen Lord?
The obsidian Ashen skull, yeah.
Gotcha.
The one that not only puts you on fire but also knocks you back.
Gotcha.
I'd say the normal Ashen skull as well, because it comes off of a Ashen Lord alliance.
Yeah, but you could turn those two skulls into anybody though. So unless Rare makes some specific loot that you can only get from doing these outpost raids, I'll call them, just to incentivize people to get them and to do them, and also like just to let them do it, like live out their true pirate fantasy that Flameout totes, like pillaging and plundering, like you drink up Miardi Jeho, like the Pirate's Life song says.
Then there's humble gifts and the Reaper chests and all that.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, those are kind of like the Reaper specific things.
New kind of gift, the magnanimous gift,
or
and then make it even more rare.
Sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say that the raid version of that could be like Athena's treasure, like a little trinket that the Pirate Lord, like I don't know, make it a little unicorn or something. I don't know. That you have to get from him. Yeah, I could definitely see something like that. I think, go ahead. I know Regis, you had a thought that you wanted to jump into.
Nah, you're good.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, all good ideas. I think I like the idea of having there be a way to augment what Reapers is already doing in a fun kind of incentive to push them out to go do content that we've already had in the game, but it's just not currently being utilized. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to jump into before we call it?
Keelhauled group's finally moving again.
Yes.
Guild?
Oh my gosh. You and so many others have been jumping into the Keelhauled captains. I think we're almost to distinction or to level 3. Before, or at least last I checked, we're like in the 90s, which is fantastic. It's great to see that. So thank you very much for jumping in there and bringing your crew over to Keelhauled captains to get that pushed up, because that will definitely help anyone that's currently in the Keelhauled captains to start working on some of those guild distinctions, which is always
96 and 2/3.
Nice. Oh, so it's even higher than when I was last I checked. So, but yeah, definitely, I was definitely putting a lot of time in on my vacation to continue to work on that. I think it was like pushing through the 70s and 80s when I was last working on it. And then I think yesterday I checked and it was like in the 90s. So I was like, that's awesome. It's really great to see that kind of pushing along. So thanks to everyone and you especially for bringing folks over and starting to work on that.
It's good to have something else to work towards. Get one done and start the next one.
Right.
It's neat to have it have something to work towards.
That is, I mean, you do like your long guild or long tail rewards on that stuff.
I sure do.
How you feeling about the leaderboards for emissaries and loot and stuff like that?
I haven't been paying attention to them. I don't have any emissary rewards to get.
Right. So I'm just kind of curious, like, are you missing that, or do you just haven't given any thought to them because they haven't updated them?
I'm never going to get to the top of the leaderboard, so I'm not really interested in that. The only thing that I use the leaderboards for at this point is to check how many players are playing monthly.
I wanted to ask you about that because you'd sent me some numbers and stuff, and I was wondering if you feel like that is still like the most accurate representation given how people play and who can switch to what and what those numbers tend to look like if people are even engaging, because the emissary system itself is locked to a certain like level. You have to hit a certain like reputation level. So we know that just based on the PlayStation 5 players, there are still a lot of new salts out there that have yet even to unlock the emissary system itself.
Yeah. I still think it's the best metric to see just how many people are engaging with the game on a given month.
Mm-hmm.
So the emissary system, just for anybody who's curious what we're talking about, is the every time you turn in treasure with a emissary flag up, you get entered onto the leaderboard, and the leaderboard tracks everyone who's done that in the game for that emissary ledger period. And I find it's the most accurate metric of how many players are actually engaged in playing the game in a given monthly period as they roll over pretty much in a month. So if I look at the best way to judge the metric is to go into either Gold Hoarders or Reapers, and then search your friends. If you have a lot of friends playing Sea of Thieves, which I do, shocker. And I can see, for example, I don't know, the website isn't telling me when the last emissary ledger period was, but I don't think it's been up too long. Right now, the person that's got the lowest amount of emissary ledger is Norwegian, who's only turned in less than 2,000 for his emissary on Reapers, and he's in position 82,287, which tells you that at least 82,000 people have jumped into the game and turned in something to Reapers this month. And the closer that gets to the emissary period switching over, you can get a good snapshot of how many people this month, unique individuals, have come into the game, played the game, delivered some loot to a trading company that have had their flag up, and that way you know that these people are at least engaged enough to have turned something in the game. Which is better than Steam charts, because Steam charts just tells you how many people have logged in who have fired up the game. They may have sat in the menu for the entirety of that period, because they just log that blip. You signing in counts as having played the thing.
Yeah.
This is a more accurate measurement of who's actually playing the game. And I don't know what the last month was, but I know for sure that at least 200,000 people, the last time I checked, had played, and that was during that slow period just before December. So, which I imagine there's plenty of games out there who would kill for 200,000 people a month playing their game.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes, the emissary ledgers, best way to check who's engaged with the game.
I don't disagree with you on the premise, because I think that at the moment the internal systems that they have are probably more accurate as far as like number of people compared to play time itself. Because I think one of the biggest issues is right now we've been relying a lot on Steam charts, which is a small segment of the actual player base. And as we get deeper into 2025, I'm hedging my bet. I'm not really hedging my bets. I'm betting heavy on a Switch 2 port of Sea of Thieves coming in the future, and that would diversify our player base even more and bring in more people that are going to be harder to get a gauge on, like how many players there are. But 200,000 to your point is a very good number of like monthly active users. So
yeah, and oh no, there goes that thought. Bye. No, it's gone. Carry on.
Well, that was pretty much it. I didn't really have a whole lot more to go off of, because I think right now we're kind of waiting, and it'll be interesting to see as we get closer to the middle of the month if Rare is going to be releasing or like revealing anything that's going to be coming in the future, how progress is going with season 15. Additionally, if we're going to have like a month's worth of content that they can bring to us. And if that's the case, I kind of would be curious to know if they're actually going to address the Grog Monet thing, or just not talk about it. Because if they address it, then they need to have a solution for it. Otherwise, just don't bring it up. But yeah, kind of curious to find out what's going on there. And if we'll have some more content to talk about in the coming week.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, the emissary ledgers is basically the best system we have as laymen to figure out what the player base size is usually like per month. Is obviously Rare's got better metrics at their control, but for us, for our purposes, this is about as good as it gets. Not something like Steam charts, because it doesn't take into account Xbox or PlayStation users and that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about, or were you guys feeling pretty good about this or the episode?
I wish I hadn't spoiled myself for next month, because I think the conversation we could have had about Hunter's Call could have been a lot better.
Well,
that said, I think it's going to be an interesting and good season.
I hope so. I really do. Regis, we're heading out.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say or shout out, or anything you want to touch on before we head out?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Well, it's good to have you here as always. Yeah, I guess if that's the case, as always, I just want to shout out the Discord for doing a great job of welcoming in some new community members, as well as getting their feet wet, teaching them the ropes, getting them on boats, and helping out, even if it's not like actually under the Sherpa program. It's good to see you guys out there helping each other and newcomers to the podcast and to Sea of Thieves. So definitely appreciate that. Look forward to jumping on hopefully in the coming week. I've got so much stuff going on that I just genuinely have not got a chance to really get my feet wet lately. And I was just like, I kind of want to go back to Sea Thieves during Golden Glory, but I don't think I'm going to have time. So I'm going to miss it. It's going to be a bummer. I was, hopefully the next time it comes up, Godhammer, you, me, Witch, Sam, Achik, we'll work out like the crew size aspect of it, get a ship going and start running some more, hourglass. That's the word.
I'm currently running through Grogged member Bighorn Crag. We're
oh, nice.
We're getting him. We're trying to get him his legendary curse. He's not interested in the ghost curse. He wants just the legendary curse. So we've been running him through Athena Hourglass in the last 24 hours, and my man's up to 78.5 last time I checked. He was on with Sam and Witch. We're running him through after I had to go take care of an on-call issue for work. So
oh, man.
We're gonna get there, Bighorn. You won't hear this because I don't think you're listening, but I'm gonna push you the podcast anyways.
Well, I know Beatnators in been talking as well about needing to get his level 100s for the achievements. So plenty of fresh meat for you if you're still
Everyone knows where I am. Yeah. Just come to me. Just let me know, and we can set something up.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I'll say it again and again. You know where to find me.
Yep.
If you can find him, you don't even have to hire him. We'll set it up.
We are definitely very happy with the streak that we have. I think you, me, Witch, and Chick have found a really good pairing in borders versus crew management or ship management. So I think that's
an unnatural streak. Okay, a little peek behind the curtain. Last time I have been on with Logun, I believe it was me, Witch, and Logun the first time, and then me, Witch, Chick, and Logun. We hit 9 in a row every time we did that without fail, and that's weird. I don't know what happened to your MMR in the very early stages of Hourglass, but my God. I don't know how we managed to go 9 in a row without a problem. Well, I'm not going to say without a problem.
We've had some good fights.
Yeah. I don't know how we pulled it off, but the last 2 times, listeners, that I've sailed with Logun, we've gone 9 in a row in Hourglass, and I don't know how it worked out.
Undefeated.
It's undefeated, weirdly.
Yeah.
And that's not normal, folks. That's not normal at all. But somehow he's got the juice.
It's not, I'm just shooting a cannon. They let me shoot the cannon, and then I have to go down and deal with a couple holes and some water every once in a while. But it's everyone else is doing whatever it is that they're doing. I just get to shoot the cannon. That's my defense. Good at it too. That's my defense. That's all I care.
Yeah. But at the moment I am 382 servants and 285 guardians.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the grind is continuing, but you're getting there.
Made a few levels. I just passed 667 combined Hourglass levels, which is cool.
Almost at you're just past the 666, which is should have ended there, but
meme number, baby.
Mean number. All right. I think that is going to do it. I am going to be in the Discord. I'm going to be out and about. This weekend is kind of a weird weekend because I just got back from vacation. There's an anime convention going on. So I'm like, I want to go to the anime convention. So we'll wrap it up here, and I'll be back next week with another episode. I should really see if I can get some folks on, because New Year, everyone's like kind of back from vacation, ready to say yes to a bunch of stuff that they didn't realize they still don't have time for. So I'm going to see if I can reach out to some content creators, some streamers and stuff, and see who wants to jump in and chat about the potential for 2025 with Rare, and how much of the promise of them, the dev team, actually like making sure that they're going to make things a little more solid. See how that actually works out. So we'll have to see how that goes.
You should get Mike Chapman here again. just for
I would love to have Mike on. He is so hard to get on though. It really does have to come as a result of him either having nothing to do, which is very rare, or there being something big enough that he's willing to do the press rounds for.
Sure.
That's something I can always spark up another email thread and see if I can get in touch with Christina and Joe and James and them and see like, hey, can you reach out and see if there's any timings coming up that might work out, and just kind of chat with them about that. Could also wait until next year when I'm going to be on the East Coast and timing will be a little bit easier.
Oh, are you moving?
Yeah. Yep, that's the goal. Planning on moving to Ohio next year at the end of summer, and see if I can get a chance to explore around that area a bit more. So we'll have to see. Okay,
yeah, we'll see.
Simply interview Mike Chapman. Easy.
Oh yeah. Just ring him up on the one thing I never thought about when I actually did meet him. Ask him for a personal phone number. That never happened. But I probably should have thought about that. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Gentlemen, thank you so much, Godhammer. Shout out to the Grog crew, as always, and to Witch and Sam and all of the members over there for constantly being good sports about lending Godhammer over to our community here to be able to help out with the guilds and teaching people how to sail and doing Hourglass without any animosity or anger or distrust, or nothing negative has ever come from sailing with Godhammer, and that's just a rare thing. So thank you for always being a beacon of light and positivity in the community.
Hourglass is fun if you have the right crew.
True. Very true. And as always, the constant, the expected, the always on time, if not always early, Regis, who wakes up at an ungodly hour in the morning on Sundays to jump in with us, to chat with us, even if he's not necessarily feeling up for it. Will always come and make sure that the episode has at least one other person to come chat with me on this. Regis, thank you so much for all the years that you've been supporting and all the years that you've come in to hang out with me while we do these episodes.
Yep. Now this year marks 4 years since we started these type of episodes.
Yeah, it's
and
wild.
I've been there since day one.
Yeah. You've probably made more of the episodes than anyone else at the moment.
That's my love for Sea of Thieves right there.
Definitely appreciate it. I'll be going to the anime convention after this. I'll keep my eye out for any One Piece stuff that looks fun. See if I can send you some photos.
Yeah. We should definitely do a watch party of the live action, but we'll leave that for another day.
Yeah, if timing permits and whatnot, and we can actually commit to it, definitely. All right.
Just as long as you let me know, because I want to see reactions to the craziness of the One Piece, especially with season 2 on the horizon of that live action. Crazy.
For sure. Gentlemen, thank you as always for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And to those out there listening, have a happy new year. I hope you have all the dreams and wishes that you want for this year to come realized, and to have nothing but safe seas, good sailing, and even better hauls. So thank you all.